Good morning, students. Today's topic is continued from the last lecture, and today's lecture, obviously, today's lecture is continued from the last lecture. So, in last lecture, we have discussed about the Mayer's relation Cp minus Cv is equal to R. Okay, where R is the universal gas constant. Okay, so this Cp minus Cv, the ratio of Cp minus Cv and R, Cp minus Cv and R is always unity for an ideal gas at all temperatures. Okay, so Cp minus Cv upon R is always unity 1 for an ideal gas at all temperatures. Okay, uh, suppose for a monoatomic gas, we are taking a monoatomic gas. Okay, where there is a only one atom. So monoatomic gas, for monoatomic gas, Cp is equal to 5 by 2 R and Cv is equal to 3 by 2 R. Okay, Cp, the value of Cp is 5 by 2 R, and the value of Cv is 3 by 2 R. So Cp minus Cv, from Mayer's relation, Cp minus Cv is what, for an monoatomic gas, 5 by 2 R minus 3 by 2 R gives R. Okay, so Cp minus Cv is equal to R, or the ratio of Cp minus Cv to R is equal to 1, we can say. Okay, similarly for a diatomic gas where there are two atoms in a molecules, so Cp is equal to 7 by 2 R and Cv is equal to 5 by 2 R for a diatomic gas. So the difference of Cp and Cv will be Cp minus Cv is equal to 7 by 2 R minus 5 by 2 R. So that is also giving R. So Cp minus Cv is equal to R for this also. So Cp minus Cv is divided by R is equal to 1 for monatomic gas and diatomic gas, and all for an ideal gas at all temperatures. Okay, so now from equation 4th, as we are continued from the we are continuing from last lecture, so we will take the equations in continuation from the last lecture. Okay, so in equation, from equation 4th, in last lecture. Okay, so from equation 4th, the equation 4th was in last lecture, that delta Q is equal to del U over del T at constant volume dt plus P plus del U over del V at constant temperature and dV is, now this is the equation. Let us take this equation as equation 11. So for a process at constant temperature, dt is equal to 0, as we know that constant temperature, so there is no change in temperature, so dt is equal to 0. So put this here in equation 11. So delta q at constant temperature is equal to, this term will be 0, du over del u over del t dt. So dt is equal to 0, so this term will be 0. So the terms remaining will be what, p dv at constant temperature, take this inside. Okay, take this dv inside. So p dv at constant temperature plus del u over del t and del u over del v at constant temperature, dv at constant temperature. Multiply this dv inside the bracket. Okay, so you will get this equation. This equation is equation 12. Okay, so the equation 12, what the equation 12 is telling us, the equation 12 represents the amount of heat, this delta Q. Okay, this delta Q is the amount of heat energy supplied to a system in an isothermal reversible process and is equal to the sum of the work done, PdV. Okay, sum of the work done and sum of the work done by the system. Okay, by the system, and increase in its internal energy. Okay, so this is what the equation 12 is telling us. Now for a reversible adiabatic process, we will see the equation for a reversible adiabatic process. Okay, so what is the adiabatic process? A system undergoes in a process in which the no heat enters or leaves to the system. and heat is not entering and neither entering nor leaving to the system. Okay, so that means delta Q is equal to 0. No heat is entering and leaving, so Q is what, constant. So delta Q is equal to what, 0. So from equation 11, we can see, or we put this delta Q equals to 0 in the equation 11. So delta Q is equal to, see the equation 11 and substitute the delta Q is equal to 0. So delta Q is equal to 0. Okay, delta Q is equal to 0. Now first term, del U over del T at constant volume dt plus P plus del U over del V at constant temperature and dV. This we have written here. Okay, now uh, one second. Now this term, first term, del U over del T at constant volume is what, CV, specific heat at constant volume. Okay, and into dt plus P plus del U over del V at constant temperature into dV. Now take this CV dt, in left hand side. So CV dt is equal to what, minus P plus del U over del V at constant temperature dV. Okay, or you can put this here, and this term, you can take this term in the left hand side, then this will be what, negative. So CV dt is equal to negative of P plus del U over del V at constant temperature dV. Now this equation is equation 13. Now this equation, dividing this equation by dV, dividing this equation by dV, so CV delta T over delta V is equal to what, minus P plus del U over del V at constant temperatures. Now this equation is equation 14. Okay, this equation is equation 14. Now in the isobaric volume expansion coefficient, you all have learned this coefficient, about this coefficient in class 8th or class 10th or class 9th, I think. So this, what is the isobaric volume expansion coefficient? um, Actually, the isobaric expansion volume expansion coefficient is what, if an object of volume V expands to V plus delta V. Okay, if there is an object and the volume of the object is V and it expands to V plus delta V when temperature is increased by delta T. If the temperature is increased by delta T of an object, and object has the volume V and it expands to V plus delta V, then volume expansion coefficient is what, alpha is equal to delta V upon V upon delta T. Okay, so delta V by V upon delta T. So this we have written here, what, this isobaric volume expansion coefficient, and we are saying that isobaric, so this is at constant pressure. Okay, so alpha is equal to, the isobaric volume expansion coefficient is equal to 1 upon V del V over del T at constant pressure. Okay, the delta V upon delta T, we have written the same here, but this delta is replaced here with this delta. This delta is replaced here with this delta. Okay, so alpha. Okay, now this V is multiplied with alpha, so alpha V is equal to del V over del T at constant pressure. Now we have Cp minus Cv is equal to P into del V over del T at constant pressure, and this equation we have used from the last lecture, from equation 8th, 9th and 10th. See this equation 8th, 9th and 10th in the last lecture. Okay, in the last lecture. So from there, Cp minus Cv is equal to P del V over del T at constant pressure. So Cp minus Cv is equal to P into del V over del T at constant pressure is what, alpha V from here. So we can put this, so P into alpha V. So Cp minus Cv upon this term, take this term in denominator. So Cp minus Cv is upon alpha V is equal to what, P. Okay, Cp minus Cv is equal to upon alpha V is equal to P. But del U over del V at constant temperature is equal to 0 from equation 9. Again, this was in last lecture. Okay, so see from there, and that from what is the equation 9. So del U over del V at constant temperature is equal to 0. And we can write this 0 as P minus P, isn't it? We can write, okay, so this 0 can be written as P minus P, and del U over del T is equal to this P. We can write in the place of this P is what? This Cp minus Cv upon alpha V. So we are writing P is equal to Cp minus Cv upon alpha V in this P, in the place of this P, okay, and minus P, minus P. So equation, this will be the equation 15. Del U over del V at constant temperature is equal to Cp minus Cv upon alpha V minus P. Okay, now take this term in left hand side, so it will be negative of Cp minus Cv upon alpha V is equal to negative of P and negative of del U over del V at constant temperature. Now take this negative sign outside the bracket, so Cp minus Cv upon alpha V negative is equal to negative of P plus del U over del V at constant temperature. Okay, now from equation 14, what is the equation 14? Equation 14 is here, this equation, and from equation 16 is here from this equation. Okay, now equation from equation 14 and from equation from equation 16 we have Cv del T over del V is equal to minus Cp minus Cv upon alpha V. We are equating this equating the equation 14 and 16, and we will get Cv delta T over del V is equal to minus Cp minus Cv upon alpha V. Okay, so del T over del V is equal to will be equal to what? Cv minus Cp, this negative term, negative sign we are taking inside, so Cv minus Cp upon alpha V into Cv, this is taken in the denominator. Okay, so this is the equation 17. Now this expression holds good for an adiabatic reversible process. So in adiabatic for an adiabatic reversible process, this equation holds. Okay, now for isochoric process, what is the work done? So work done for an isochoric process. Okay, so isochoric process is what? A system undergoes a process in which the volume is kept constant. So volume is kept constant, that is volume, if volume is constant, then dV is equal to what? 0. Change in volume is 0. Okay, so delta W is what? 0. From equation first, delta Q is equal, if equation first, sorry, first law of thermodynamics, delta Q is equal to delta U plus delta W. Okay, and delta W will be 0. Why? Because volume is kept constant here for an isochoric process, we are saying. So delta Q is equal to du plus 0. So the heat absorbed, delta Q is equal to delta U, that is the increase in the internal energy. What is delta U? That is delta U is the kya? What? Increase in the internal energy. Okay, the increase in the internal energy of a system is equal to the heat absorbed by the system at constant volume. Okay, so and we also can say that the work done in isochoric process is 0. The work done in isochoric process is 0. Okay, so in isochoric process, the work done is always 0. Remember it. And now the what is isobaric process? Isobaric process, the system undergoes a process in which the pressure is kept constant. Okay, so pressure is kept constant. So we can write from equation from first law of thermodynamics, we can write delta Q is equal to du delta U plus delta W. Okay, if Q is the heat absorbed by a system, then we can write the difference in delta U. Suppose the internal energy of final state is U2, and the initial state has the internal energy U1. Then the change in internal energy will be U2 minus U1. So Q is equal to U2 minus U1 plus W. So heat absorbed by a system will be U2 minus U1 plus W is what? PdV. So P, and if the volume is changed from V1 to V2, then what is the difference? What is the change in volume? What will be the change in volume? V2 minus V1. Okay, so dV is equal to V2 minus V1. V2 minus V1. So U2 minus U1 plus P into V2 minus V1. So we can write these terms together. Which terms? U2, sorry, this U2 and this PV2. Okay, so U2 plus PV2 and this U1 and this PV1. So minus, negative sign taken out, U1 plus PV1. Okay, so the heat absorbed by a system can be written in the term of U2 plus PV2 and U1 plus PV1. And this term, we are writing this term U2 plus PV2 as H2, and this U1 plus PV1 H1. Okay, so Q is equal to what? H2 minus H1, and this H is what? Enthalpy. Enthalpy. Okay, so where enthalpy H is equal to, we can write U plus PV. ओके, सो आपसे पूछा जा सकता है व्हाट इज एंथैल्पी की इक्वेशन लिखिए. सो एंथैल्पी H इज इक्वल टू U प्लस PV. नाउ from equation 18 we can conclude that the heat absorbed at constant pressure isobaric process के लिए हम पढ़ रहे हैं. So at constant pressure is equal to the increase in quantity H. And what is the quantity H? Quantity H is called as the enthalpy. So we conclude that the heat absorbed at constant pressure is equal to the increase in the enthalpy. Okay, and as we know that U, internal energy, is a function of thermodynamic variables, and like the internal energy, H, enthalpy, is also a function of thermodynamic variables. Okay, now for an adiabatic process, as you know that what is the adiabatic process? The adiabatic process is what? When a system undergoes from an initial state to a final state in such a way that no heat leaves or enters to the system. Okay, no heat leaves or enters to the system. That is the adiabatic process. So adiabatic process, for adiabatic process, the Q will be what? 0. Delta Q, delta Q. Delta Q, instead of Q, that will be delta Q. Okay, so delta Q will be 0. So delta Q will be 0. So from equation, from first law of thermodynamics, delta Q is equal to delta U plus delta W, and we can write from here that delta Q is equal to 0, and the delta U, we can write U2 minus U1. If U2 is the internal energy of final state and U1 is the internal energy of the initial state, then the change in internal energy will be U2 minus U1. Okay, so delta U is equal to, this term is 0. So what will be? Delta U is equal to minus of delta W. So U2 minus U1 is equal to, I am writing that delta U is equal to, sorry, delta U is equal to minus of delta W from equation, from the first law of thermodynamics. Okay, because delta Q is equal to 0. So the change in energy, change in internal energy is U2 minus U1. Then this is minus of W. We are writing here the W because the work done here, if work done is W, then we are writing that minus of W. So change in internal energy is equal to minus of W. Now for an ideal gas, U2 minus U1, change in internal energy is equal to CV dt. Okay, we have learned this. So from this equation and this equation, we can write that W is equal to minus of CV dt. Okay, now from when a system expands, when a system, I'm emphasizing this expands. Okay, so when a system expands adiabatically, its internal energy decreases. From this equation we can see. Okay, so its internal energy decreases when a system expands adiabatically, or if the system is compressed adiabatically. If the system is See, in if a system expands adiabatically, expands, that is work done by the system. So sign convention for the work done, w will be what, positive. Okay, and if the system is compressed adiabatically, compressed, we have learned for the sign convention for what, work done by the system and work done on the system. So work done on the system, here we can see the system is compressed, someone is compressing the system. Okay, so work done on the system, and work done, for work done on the system, w is taken to be negative. Okay, so if the system is compressed adiabatically, we can write u2 minus u1 is equal to what, minus of minus w, minus of minus w. So u2 minus u1 is equal to minus of minus w, that is plus w. Okay, so we can see for a system compressed adiabatically, okay, a system compressed adiabatically, its internal energy uh, not decreases, it increases, it increases because it is positive. Okay, here the internal energy was what, negative. So we were saying that a system expands adiabatically, its internal energy decreases, but here the w is positive, here u2 minus u1 is equal to, it's becoming what, positive. So if system is compressed adiabatically, we are writing that what, due to the increase in energy, internal energy what, increases. Okay, so this was all about the today's lecture. Okay, okay, thank you.